And we're live.
Yay!
Right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Claret and Booze for our review of the 1-0 win over Wolves at London Stadium. Now, what a brilliant game, wasn't it, boys? Amazing.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
great day,
Superb.
mate. Great day.
Yeah, worth waking up for early in the morning.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, yeah, of course. I'm joined as usual by Gary. Have you sobered up yet, Gal? After your
No, not
post-match
quite.
drinks?
I'm still quite pissed, actually. I had a lot of beer today. I had a lot of beer. Yeah.
You are quite flush. You are quite yeah.
I know.
flush.
I had two jugs. I had two jugs in the in the supporters club afterwards. I bought two jugs. Didn't quite finish the two jugs. There weren't enough of us, but I had enough beers beforehand to sort of get me going. So yeah, I'm well oiled. Put it like that.
That's good. That's good. And how about yourself, John? You all right?
Yeah, mate. I've only just had a beer. Just cracked open a beer today because I've been driving with my boy. But yeah, I'm just happy, mate. I'm drunk on 3 points. Put it that way.
Yeah. Same here.
You know?
I feel the same. And we're joined by Danny Martinez, a familiar face. How are you, Danny? You all right?
I'm wonderful. Nursing a hangover because I had a couple of drinks last night.
Yeah.
It was wedding reception, and I'm okay now.
And you got up early this morning to watch the game as well.
Yes. Well, it wasn't my finest 7:30 a.m. wake up, but that's okay.
No. Good stuff.
So
Good
worth
stuff.
it. So worth it.
Indeed. Anyway, well, look, on with the show. It's been a fantastic weekend. You know, as we all know, on Friday, you know, we were drawn against Sevilla in the last 16 of the Europa League, and we face off this coming Wednesday against Southampton in the FA Cup. Now, although West Ham fans are excited about the next few weeks, there's also there's been a bit of a seed of doubt in many of our minds, brought about by West Ham's performances so far this year, not matching up to that sort of same level of the performances that we, you know, earlier in the season. It's not quite been the same. So it's fair to say that entertainment has been off the menu so far this year. So we really needed a performance today, as much as a 3 points. I think, you know, we needed a bit of a change, and that's exactly what we got, in my opinion. Yes. You know, well, I mean, we'll touch on that in more detail shortly. But John, do you want to, before we get into the review, do you want to run through the comments? Would you say hello to everyone?
Yeah, just putting a few up. I've put a few up already. Fresh Fielder says evening to you. It's coming up a bit of a delay. I don't know why. Stephen says evening, chaps. Great win today. How good was Zuma? Yeah, Zuma was very good.
Yeah.
There were a few of them, to be fair, that were good today. Yeah, my comments ain't coming up on the screen. Are you seeing them as I'm pressing them?
Yeah, we're
They're not.
seeing them. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hi, Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Hey, Claire, you're right.
Neil from Down Under is available again at 6:32. Well done. Him and Danny are very committed West Ham fans, let's be honest.
They are indeed.
Paul says, evening all, let's laugh at Chelsea. Well, I've got to say, I did watch the game. It was one of the best penalty shootouts I've ever seen in my life. I've got to say, it was unbelievable. I don't know if you watched it, but the Chelsea sub-keeper came on to save penalties, and he actually missed his penalty to lose the game. So it's fantastic.
No.
Yeah, it went all the way around, put it that way.
Never mind.
Whatever.
Oh, hang on,
Happy to a more deserving club right now. So
I'm not sure how Dan feels about this, because a few people have said it, Dan, and I'm sure you'll be happy. But bloody hell, Virgil has a double tonight. People keep saying me and you look the same, Dan.
yeah, I'm like when you ordered John off of Wish, this is what you get.
Oh, man, it's too nice.
You remember Father Ted? This one's near and that one's far away.
Yeah, I need to start watching that.
Yes, Gary's had a few drinks. Brave juice from Gary.
Yeah,
he's socially lubricated.
I am indeed.
Yeah, I did put a few up. Yeah, so there's a few hellos, and yeah, let's get on with it again.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think we had a little chat before we came online, and I think we're going to disagree on the way that we set up, because, you know, at first glance, when we all saw the team sheet, it was a bit samey, you know, and most would have been a little bit underwhelmed, because news broke this week that Moyes was changing things in the setup, but it soon became very clear after we kicked off that the shape and playing style had indeed changed. Now, I'm not saying that this is completely how we played for the whole game, but I kind of saw this type of thing here, which was a bit of a diamond. John's saying that he thinks that we played a bit of a back three at different times, but he's right. You know, Rice and Souček were both getting up the pitch. Johnson was definitely more advanced. I don't think we had a striker today. I think, if anything, you know, Lanzini was more central than anyone else. Antonio and Bowen were both playing as wide inside forwards, weren't they?
Yeah.
but it seemed very fluid. It didn't seem like, we was. I mean, you often do. You defend in a different shape to the way that you attack. But there was definitely something different. I mean, what was your take on that, John?
Listen. When we saw the team sheet, you text me and said, "Oh, nothing's changed." Then, we was all a little bit expectant of it to be, it's the same old. It was just, I felt it was a three at the back, most definitely. I thought Cresswell was predominantly left of the three centre backs as he would be with Zuma and Dawson. I thought Fornals played left wing back, and me and Gary just spoke about it before coming out. And I thought he was absolutely superb up and down the field. Yeah. And I felt Johnson was probably more attacking and more advanced than he's probably most of the time. I just felt that there was a lot of fluidity in the midfield. I felt the midfield were just sort of, I wouldn't say they all had a free role, because obviously that would be ill-disciplined, but they did
seem quite dynamic, didn't they? They was moving around.
They seemed to change it when they wanted to amongst themselves. They seem to have been given, I suppose, a little bit of trust to trust their own professionalism, to know when to do what. You know what I mean? Rather than say, you sit all the time and I go forward all the time, it seemed to be more of a case of, right, if you're going forward, I'll sit. If I'm going forward, you sit. It was just a little bit of a take each section of the game as it comes, and I must say that it was a breath of fresh air,
Yeah, because I think you saw Lanzini was controlling play, and I do think you was seeing there was always either Dek or Souček back, but they were both taking turns at going forward.
Most definitely.
They really were. And what was your take on it, Gal?
Well, I thought first and foremost, we looked like, rather than sitting back and being pressed like we have seen in recent games, we were pressing. We were playing a higher level.
Yeah.
We were pressing. We were denying Wolves space and time, and I thought throughout the game we bullied them. We bullied them. We were. I mean, we'll come to talking about individual performances, but I thought, as a team, I thought we were right on it today.
There weren't a single player that was below a 7 for me today. I don't think so.
It's a donkey-free zone.
It's a donkey-free zone, and
absolutely.
But you are right, Gal. We were definitely pressing the ball, and we haven't been doing that. It's all been about kind of holding your position. That was different. We were pressing the ball. We were playing higher up the pitch, weren't we?
Yes, definitely.
We were definitely so whatever the shape was, we was playing higher up the pitch.
Do you know what it just seemed like? It just seemed like our starting positions were 10, 15 yards further up the field.
Yeah.
And it was no coincidence. I don't want to harp on about it. If you look at Antonio's performance, he was far more in the game. He was far more effective than he's been for a long, long, long time. And there's no rocket science behind it. It's because he had bodies around him.
He was buzzing for today. He
wasn't stranded up front on his own.
Yeah, he wasn't on an island whenever he got the ball up the pitch and having to hold that play. It was great, man.
No. Yeah. How did you see it, Dan? Did you interpret it similar to the way that
great points you guys are making here. I love the high press. I love that. They had a lot more possession than we did.
They did, yeah.
Overall, but for some reason, up until those 10 minutes, I wasn't too worried about us kind of playing back and absorbing the attack, trying to create chances off of turnovers. That's about as good a game as and you're right, John. That's about as good a game as we've seen from Antonio. Yeah. Even if he himself didn't bag a goal, he was brilliant today.
He was.
Yeah.
Fornals was also brilliant. But obviously we're going to get into that with player ratings. But
we'll ply them all with superlatives in a bit. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I've made a couple of slides on the on a couple of the talking points from the game. So going into the first half, on 7 minutes, I'm sure you can all remember this bit. When you had that long lofted ball over the top, and Dawson had that wobbly moment, didn't he, where he made a bit of a hash of that header. And luckily, Silva completely fucking lost the flight of the ball, didn't he? He didn't know where he was, and Johnson came back. He was there. That's what I mean. Johnson, he was all over the place. You are right though. Cresswell seemed to be much deeper all the time, and Johnson he almost felt like he was part of the attack, didn't he? That's how it felt.
He really did. I thought Johnson was superb today. He was getting forward as much as sitting back. So that kind of alludes to the fact that perhaps we were playing a 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
We was playing a 3 at the back in possession and out of possession. We was playing 5 at the back, and it was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. In my mind.
It was good. It was absolutely. John, as we can see on 9 minutes, Johnson whipped a ball in for Lanzini. On 15 minutes, Bowen went through, created a 2-on-2, but his through ball was a bit heavy, wasn't it? And that kind of come to nothing. And then we had a chance on 17 minutes where Cresswell slips Bowen in behind the Wolves defence with a clever pass, but they managed to sort of tidy that up. He did get a shot away, but their keeper was good today.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, on 22 minutes, Sace basically gives away a free kick, and then Cresswell, what a free kick that was! I bet you thought that was in,
yeah? Yeah.
Oh, it was a screamer, man. I thought that was in.
Yeah,
I bet you thought that was in. Yeah, it was brilliant. And then another chance. Souček feeds Antonio. They was linking up today, weren't they?
They were. He played him in beautifully, and I'll tell you what, he really got his foot behind that ball. He really hit it, Antonio. He couldn't have hit it any better or put it anywhere else. It was a great save.
No. It was good. He had to sort his feet out really quickly and get a shot off. It was like a toe poke, but I think he executed it really well.
He really did.
And then move on to the next bit. Ain't working.
No, it's there.
That's sure.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Silva leads a counter attack to single handle it. Right. Zuma. Yeah. Do you remember that challenge from Zuma where he done his knee?
It was a
I was holding my breath for that. Oh my God.
Well, honestly, right. He showed, because obviously Silva wanted to get onto his right foot. Zuma's done his homework. He's saying you ain't coming onto your right foot, and he just put in it was a blinding tackle. But on the replay, you could definitely see it kind of done his knee. Lanzini had an effort as well, and then obviously that moment, that brilliant bit of skill from Deck. Bowen pulls it back to Declan Rice on the edge of the box, and he arced that ball in, didn't he? And the keeper was beat. They was trying to say in the halftime panel was saying the keeper had it covered, but no chance, no way they have that covered. It was a brilliant shot. And then Antonio got to the byline, tripped across crossing for Souček. That was another chance. That probably should have been a goal. And then right at the end, because they had didn't they right at the end? I think it was after that they had a player that injured himself, didn't they? And that slowed the play.
Yeah, he ran into the post, I think, defending their end.
Yeah,
and then it sort of killed the game for a few minutes, and then we sort of went asleep for the remainder of the half. Like that little break didn't seem to do us any good, you know.
That was kind of clunky, wasn't it? It nothing really was going well after that point. It was very.
Like I say, that chance there, the one right at the end of the half for them, that was kind of that was one of the best chances of the game, I think. So
for them it was, yeah.
But yeah, so obviously it finished at half time 0-0. What were your thoughts, John, after the first half?
I mean, I said to you before we come on, although it was 0-0 at half time, I said to the guys that I was sitting with, I said, look, even if this game ends 0-0, I'm happy. I'm happy that we seem to have a plan B has appeared from somewhere, right? We've all been moaning and groaning, saying when we're going to try something different. Yeah. To me, the performance today, if it would have ended 0-0, I would have been happy. And that sounds ridiculous, but I would have been happy because we played good football. We were trying different things. Antonio wasn't isolated. Everybody was on song. So hopefully now Moyes, we know no two games are the same, but hopefully Moyes sticks with this a little bit more now and can see that, the body language from the players from the off for me was high. They was happy. They seemed to enjoy it. Antonio looked less redundant and less dishevelled up front, if that's the right phrase. But I just think that the team all round and individually all looked a lot better. And there was a lot of
high energy, weren't we? We were high energy today.
Yeah, massively. Most definitely. Look, at the end of the day, we can all bemoan Antonio's lack of effort and all that. But if you're chasing a back four around when they're playing it around on your own, week in, week out, without any support, you can run till the cows come home. It's going to kill you. Yeah. But today, because of the high press with Lanzini and Bowen helping him out, it made a huge difference.
Yeah. Gary, what about you?
Well, similar feelings to you at halftime, John. I thought that is a good performance. That is a really good performance. And when you look at the breakdown, the summary that you've put up here, you realise how many chances we actually made. And it was never going to be a high-scoring game. It was always going to be 1 or 2 goals separating the sides. So I was absolutely delighted at half-time. I thought we should have come in the lead, but I was delighted with the performance.
Yeah.
What I felt defensively, we were fucking dogged. I mean, nobody in that first half, they, apart from that little mistake early on, they weren't getting near us. And that tackle from Zuma was outstanding.
Dawson and Zuma have struck up quite a partnership, haven't they?
Oh, they have. They look completely comfortable together. By the way, Zuma's spoof Twitter feed. I love that.
You've seen Craig Dawson's spoof.
Dawson's got one as well,
right?
Yeah,
that's right. I love that, man. I love that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. What did he say? He said,
I'm the greatest of all time.
No, what he said was today I've tested positive for being the best defender in the world.
Oh man, can you imagine if he was actually like that self-absorbed?
Yeah. No, so absolutely brilliant. And so I thought, and going back to what we discussed the other night, I felt that the defense did their job so well that I thought the forward players had the freedom to express themselves, and they really did express themselves. But there was not too much focus on the forward players defending. You know, the defenders. I think he did play a back five when we were defending, and when he played a back five, in that back five, I think Moyes entrusted that back five to stop them getting through us. My God, they did a fabulous job, didn't they?
Wall.
It really was. It really was.
Do you know, I wondered if because when we was in possession, we'd have the 3 centre halves, Cresswell, Zuma, Dawson. I wonder if that gave Rice and Souček a lot more confidence because the defence are more narrow, they don't have to worry so much. Do you know what I mean? They know there's 3.
You got to cover less ground.
Obviously that must give them a little bit more confidence in the fact that there's 3, if you like, narrow defenders, and they haven't got to worry so much about tracking back or being in position as much defensively. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good point. They definitely felt comfortable pushing up the pitch, didn't they? Whatever he's worked on in training, he got it absolutely bang on. I mean, the only thing that you've got to say is, against Wolves, they're a different type of team. You know, I know they started quick and they came out the blocks quick, but typically they don't really do that. They're quite standoffish usually, Wolves. So we obviously, I don't think that'll be the way that we play against every team, but yeah, he got it bang on. Danny, what were your thoughts on the first half, mate?
We really should have gone into the second half up like 2-0.
Yeah, 100%.
Really, with all the chances that we created, and obviously looking at all these notes, like, yeah, damn, we really were pretty active on the ball. I was happy with the performance in the first half, obviously not with the score, but you know, when you're sitting on at least a point at halftime, especially of the bad run of form we've had in recent weeks, you know, I'll take that. But
was you nervous that we'd created so many chances and we think, oh, that's going to come
back? I'm a little, I guess, like superstitious about it. Like, if you don't capitalize on your chances, it typically is going to come back, bite you in the ass. But I'm glad that wasn't the case today. It should have been 3-0 at the end of that game. Yeah, maybe even more.
Absolutely. Right, John, do you want to go for any comments on the first half?
I'm just going to go through some comments before we move on to the second half, mate. Just quickly, because there's quite a few coming in there. So Gerino says, when you press them, they don't come up. I don't know what's going on.
They're up. I can see him, mate. I can see him.
Yeah. Glad to see Souček played a little bit further forward.
That's a good comment.
Yeah.
Well, I think
we just talked about.
We just covered that.
High press, press.
Yeah.
Moyes copied the claret.
They did.
I told you he was watching, didn't I? I told you he was watching.
Tactical fucking geniuses on this show.
To be fair, John, the formation, it took us about an hour to work that out the other night.
It was the longest part of the show. Usually the lineup predictor is the quickest part of the show because it's so obvious, isn't it? But it was down to you, Gal, because you heard the little snippet from Souček in the week, so we had to discuss it.
It was, but I think Nigel picked the diamond. Yeah,
well, he did because I think we was all talking about matching them up, And then we started looking at it because we built from the back, and Nigel went, "That is too defensive. It's too defensive."
Enough about Nigel.
Yeah.
Chris is on his way back up north. Man of the match is Zuma for me. 3 or 4 important blocks. Yeah, agreed.
He was good. He was good.
Oh, I've got to say this, right? Because I've got to say this. I've got to say this. When we the way I come in from the ground is right past the away supporters, and about 5 Wolves coaches full of fans pulled up as we was walking in or walking by. And they had 3 Wolverhampton supporters were not allowed entry through the first barriers. Why do you think that was?
Dressed as cats.
They was fully dressed as cats. they had everything. They literally had a full, like the Masked Singer. They had a proper,
like a full ass costume.
That is brilliant.
That's brilliant. And the stewards didn't let them in, and West Ham fans were going mad, going, "Well, let them in. What's wrong with you? There's no." It was hilarious. It was so funny. It was so funny. So they must have gone home. They must have gone back to the coaches and got changed or something like that. We seem to have wanted to go forward all game instead of playing back yet. We just pushed a lot higher, as we've said. Going forward, we actually played the ball forwards and not sideways.
Yeah.
The team looked so much better. And quicker. It wasn't slow build-up. It was more of a...
We was moving the ball. We was moving the ball quickly. I think because we had so many players further up, we had more options. We had more passing options.
Yeah, Garino says Antonio was unlucky on 2 occasions when the ball didn't quite fall. Zuma taking the shot first half.
Yeah, do you remember that? Have you seen the replay of that where he does like a little tantrum stamp where Zuma nicks it off of his foot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've seen that. Zuma, world class. Johnson, brilliant. Don't want to see Fredericks again.
It's a true point now. I mean, Zuma was outstanding today.
Yeah.
Literally on his and Johnson was rock solid.
Johnson was brilliant. Johnson was absolutely brilliant. That 2-year contract extension couldn't come at a better time, I suppose. No. Because today, if he plays like that to the rest of the season, his value is going to go up and up and up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he'll have Soufal's job.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, that's possibly. But Soufal's got to come back and want to win his place back and just bide his time.
That's true.
That's the beauty of a squad if you get one.
Yeah, whoever said they don't want to see Fredericks again, I mean, we need all the help we can get at this point. As far as squad depth.
I think if you're playing Fredericks and there isn't so much of an onus on defending, I think he can do a job.
Yeah,
he can do a job. He's
fine. Most definitely. But I must say, Dawson has been I wish I would. I wish I'd run his bath. I'd run his bath, his Twitter account, everything. Nick. Yeah. Tell the people what you messaged us after the game about Dawson. Tell the people what you said.
Right. Okay. Well, I've been saying through all of Dawson's performances that as good as he is, he's no more than just a good backup. We're going to be buying his replacement in, and I've been saying that the whole way through. The more I'm watching him, why are we replacing him? I know we've got to get another defender in, but why would we go out to I think they're looking like they're forming a good partnership.
There's no need to replace him, in my opinion. I'm starting
to feel like he's a first-team centre-back now. I think he is.
Outside the front of the ground, we've already started paying tribute to him, right? We were going to meet after the game to go to the supporters club, and we did. And we said, "Where should we meet?" He said, "Let's meet there." And it's like a post it's a lamppost, right? And hanging down from the lamppost on both sides are 2 different pictures of Dawson. It's like the double Dawson lamppost. double Dawson lamppost. So if ever we got to meet up, he's at the double Dawson.
The double Dawson.
Yeah.
Love it. It's quite refreshing to see because he's had a bit of stigma attached to him, and I think he's won over a lot of the fan base.
Yeah, I think it's a low price tag. Really, I think we just can't believe that he's any good. We to a degree. No, but that's the thing. You kind of waiting for him to fall to pieces or something.
No, I do believe it now. Though I do believe he's good.
Yeah,
now.
I know.
I do.
And
I think
that's the thing. And that's the thing as well. Zuma and Dawson, they're both at the different end of the spectrum value-wise, but they have built up, I suppose, an unusual their partnership is brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, let's move into the second half highlights. So, anyway, West Ham, they had a penalty shout with Bowen's flick. I don't think there was anything in that, to be honest. But I mean, it did get looked at. but not for me. Rice had another crack, another 25-yard effort. Not quite as good as the first effort, I've got to say. Wolves had a chance as well. They was kind of playing really well at the start of the second half. I mean, that's why the stats, when you look at the full-time stats, are out of bonk. Like, we're down to about 38% possession. But in the first half, it was even. It was kind of even. But in the second half, they did kind of...
We absorbed a lot more of the attack, yeah.
They changed the way that they played a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then, do you know what? 59 minutes a goal. And what a brilliant goal. John, take us through the goal. Because I think you said it was 4 nails, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all came from 4 nails. A fantastic bit of skill, fantastic trickery in his new wing-back position, pushing forward. He played it into Antonio, I think, as well. And it was just beautiful to see. It was just a well-worked team goal, in a tight area, quick feet from him, got the ball out, played it in. It was just so simplistic but beautiful at the same time, And
Antonio today, right? Antonio was not. He was passing today. So Antonio, do you know, like last week, he was shooting from stupid angles when he should have been crossing and stuff like that. He wasn't doing that today. He was almost being too unselfish at times. But it was brilliant. It was working. I mean, he's got a load of assists this year, Antonio. And he's got nine assists.
I think that was 9 after today. Yeah, he was awesome the wing today. Loved it.
Yeah, he was good. Some good delivery as well. But yeah, Souček as well. He needs his goal because he's a player that needs goals. I think Souček he needs them to his game. Yeah. And he could have had a couple. He was definitely getting forward a lot more. He was in support of Antonio a lot. I do think it helps. It's got to help Antonio if he's got a big bloke like Souček in the box with him. Right, it's another distraction. It's another distraction. He's dragging a defender away with him, isn't he? But yeah. So after that point, they made a few changes, didn't they? They made one change. They brought Podence on, and there's a goal. Look, lovely celebration.
He did not want to let Antonio go.
No, it was a big cuddle. It was a big cuddle.
Deck looks there, Nick. Look how happy Deck looks.
I know. It was a good bro hug.
But something, Antonio and Souček, though. I mean, to be fair, and fair enough. I don't have a go at Antonio, but I've been digging out Souček. They probably have been two of the most heavily criticised players recently.
Yeah, most definitely.
And they linked up well today, so fair play.
But that's fair, Nick. I mean, when we've seen him play at the the high level that we've seen him play at, like if they don't give us that week in and week out, like I mean, it's fair.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
It's not anything that the boss isn't already doing to them, I guess.
No, that's it. But anyway, so we're coming towards the end of the highlights now. So you had this was one of the highlights of the game for me. That run from Antonio where he's knocked it past the fullback and he's just gone. His pace returned. He just literally blitzed through, didn't he? I just wish he'd have finished it, but it was on his left foot. And he chopped back inside, and I think that finished up, didn't it? It finished up with Souček having a. It was a bit of a lame shot of goal in the end, but But it was brilliant, and that for me, that run that epitomised what Antonio's effort today. He was completely and utterly playing for the team. He was brilliant. He really was.
Just quickly, Nick, getting on to Antonio's assist. If Garino seems like he's got the facts for us, Antonio now has 7 assists, second highest in the Premier League after Salah, apparently.
Wow. Well, there you go. There you go.
Wow.
Really interesting.
So people were judging him on goals, and the thing is, look, he's not a striker. He's an attacker, but he's not a striker, is he? He's
just a forward, really.
He did a pre-match interview on Sky. Loads of people probably watched it. But he did say that at the start of the season, when he was at his best, he said, I was playing the way that I'm comfortable. I was attacking wide, and it was playing my natural game. He said, but then I started to listen to people who said I weren't central enough, and I started to try and become that number 9 that just was centered in the 18-yard box. And he said, that isn't my game. He said, it isn't my game. He said, I like to sort of, run the channels and stuff like that. And I think that's obviously what he's been given. He's been given a go-ahead to do again. And hopefully we'll get the best out of him,
Well, I couldn't work out what they were doing up front today because him and Bowen were so fluid. 1 minute, one of them was on the left, the other one was on the right. Then they'd switch around. Then Antonio go wide. And that's the kind of movement you want to see from your front players.
Yeah, 100%.
Most definitely, 100%.
I'd love to see a heat map from Antonio today.
Yeah.
Especially just because it really was
all over the place. All over the place. He would have been.
White heat. It was like a sheet of A4. That's all it was.
And then, like I say, so up to 75 minutes, that was our period of the game really. After we scored up to this point, we had another chance here. 4 now splits the defence with a wonderful threaded pass to find Cresswell, and and again, that was another chance. There was loads at that point. We was really trying to kill the game off, weren't we? Up to about 75 minutes.
Where's that chance where Bowen nearly scored?
It's probably further on. I'm assuming I picked all the juicy bits out.
Do you remember where the keeper made a fabulous save? It was a low down shot. I can't remember.
That was in the first half, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in the first half.
I've done that. Yeah, I've done that.
Second half, he was scoring. It was shooting into our goal. So,
oh right, okay.
Yeah.
Was that when it fell on his right foot? And he tried. I think he tried to. Was it the one he tried to play with the outside of his right foot, and the keeper got down low? Wasn't it? Is that the one?
It was actually the outside of his left foot, and he kind of mishit
his left foot. Sorry, yeah. That was second half. Yeah,
he didn't hit it cleanly.
No.
And then as you can see after that, because they had to change something again. Wolves, they brought on Neto and Jimenez, and they at that point, once they brought those players on, we started. I don't know whether it was Antonio was tiring, but he did start to have a little dip in the last 10 minutes, and that
he was gassed after all.
He made a mistake. That one you got up there on 82 minutes. That was his second mistake. He made a mistake early on where he had the ball and he could have played an easy pass to Lanzini, and he chose to turn around and go the other way, and he ended up losing the ball.
On that counter attack.
But like you say, Gary, he was gone at that point. His legs were gone.
And that's what Moyes has got to spot. When he's literally gone like that and run himself out, take him off and rest him.
I agree. Because that's when he's making the mistakes, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
But to be fair, you know what? I think he actually won the ball with that one from Jimenez. I know it was a bit of a rough game. But he gave the ball away. He made the wrong decision in the first place, which led to him having to break back and make that sort of belated challenge. It was a mistake.
He got all ball, and that should not.
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake. Yeah, but they make mistakes.
They do.
Either way, it was great to see him back today, Antonio, because you could tell from the off today. Last couple of games I've noticed, it's like as soon as the game started, it's like he's been treading water. It's like he's been, struggling, tired already when the game starts. Today, he looked fresh as a daisy when the game.
He was ready to go. He was ready to go. He really was. But no, like I say, I must admit at that point as well. I know that was on the 82nd minute, and I know that sort of mistakes were starting to creep in. I didn't feel like we weren't going to see this one out though. I didn't. I didn't feel nervous. Did you?
You guys didn't say "oh shit" when Jimenez came in. I did.
No, not Jimenez. He's only scored 4 or 5 goals this year.
I think one of those was against us, wasn't it?
I'll tell you who made the difference for them was that Daniel Podence when he come on.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a good player.
He was between the lines. He was playing between the defence and the sort of behind Declan and Souček's shoulder. He was playing there and he was doing some fantastic little touches when he came on. I mean, to be honest with you, I was surprised that he didn't start because he's caught my eye this season massively.
I'm glad he didn't.
I'm glad he didn't, but yeah, of course.
I am with Nick on this one though. I wasn't really nervous right to the end. I was fine. I know we retreated a little bit and it was a little bit more touch and go because they were seeing more of the ball and we were going back towards our 18-yard box, but we were still defending amazingly well.
We were. No, I agree. And Fabianski caught a few as well late on. I've got to say, caught a few.
Well, I'll tell you what. Good you mention him because Fabianski is one of his best games for.
He was amazing. He was coming flying out. He was commanding. He was commanding.
Coming off his line to catch balls.
yeah, exactly. But as you can see, the stats just goes to show you really the stats are bollocks, doesn't it? Because you know when you look at that, you would probably assume if you hadn't watched the game that Wolves were all over us, and that is not the case. Yeah. They had a lot of possession. They played almost twice as many passes as us as well. But
in terms of block shots,
look at attacks. Look at attacks and dangerous attacks and stuff. They're all. No, I think we were good value for that win today. I really do.
You see the blocked shot stats.
Yeah.
Is that Wolves had 9 of their shots blocked, or they blocked 9 of ours?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, so our defence were blocking loads. Okay, I see. Yeah, no, as I thought.
Which we were. We were. I mean, Zuma and Dawson. So that is the that's the review all but done. I mean, like I say, do you want to go through the comments, John?
Yeah. I'll get some up.
Right, let me pull up.
Well deserved 3 points. Wolves made a number of changes from the midweek game. It never looked dangerous yet. As Gary said, we was all pretty confident throughout, really. The defence held rigid. Antonio, 9 goals, 9 assists in all competition from Freshfielder. Jason said Dawson was so good again today. Yeah, we will have to agree with that one. I was dreading Jimenez coming on.
Yeah.
Thought we would get the equaliser. He did have a few good moves. They left him very late, though. What was it, 82 minutes? I mean...
Yeah.
It was late, yeah.
Last 10 minutes, yeah.
And this is picking up on what we said from Garino. I think we needed that fluidity going forward between Bowen and Antonio. Yeah, you know, you got to change things up a little bit. And players are intelligent enough to do that. They're professionals, you know. So give them their own flexibility. And 80 minutes. Claire and Casey were on. Oh yeah, sorry, Claire. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see what she did, Claire? She had to take the dogs out or something. So her daughter paused the television live.
Way.
Right. So they've come back in and put it on and started watching it again. And her daughter's gone, Mum, we've won. And she's gone, what? Come up on my phone that we've won. She went, oh dear, yeah, I forgot that we paused the game. So, you know, Grant was also surprised that Podence didn't start. And last one is from that one guy. Not having Semedo was a big miss for them. Looked like Moyes targeted that side. Yeah, probably did. But yeah, no, all round good performance. So.
It was definitely. Like I say, even if we hadn't have won it, it wouldn't have been a disaster for me. If they'd have got an equaliser, I wouldn't have been miserable on this review. I think we played really, really well. I could have taken positives from that, and that's kind of what that's what I think everyone needed. You know, we've been picking up points. Points ain't been a problem for us, is it?
Yeah, no, we needed a performance.
Yeah,
we got a performance.
We did. Okay, player ratings.
I'd love to see no donkeys. No donkeys. Well done.
No donkeys. They're off. The donkeys are gone. So let's start with Fabianski. Go to John.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he didn't have loads to do in terms of saving loads of shots, but what he did do towards the end of the game when we were, if you like, hanging on, for want of a better phrase, which he wasn't really, but they was a bit more attacking. He came out and commanded. He caught a lot of balls. You know, he's quite a diminutive figure in terms of a goalkeeper these days. And I thought he was very good handling. And I actually liked the way that when he did catch the ball, he was falling down in stages just to waste those extra seconds. Yeah. I love when he does that.
Yeah,
you know, we've often been accused of being too nice, but he was being a little bit, you know, game management, which we need to do sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. So what are you saying in terms of a score, do you reckon?
Yeah, I'd say 7, high 7s, maybe an 8, but I'd say 7.
I'd probably go 8 myself today. I don't think he did a single thing wrong. No. I think everything that he had to do today, he did perfectly well. You know, that includes shot stopping, holding the ball, coming and claiming it. I don't think he could have had a better game today.
Well, and that's what you want. He played a clean, mistake-free game.
Yeah. I'd go 8.
Ask for much more than that.
What do you reckon, Danny?
I would say an 8 just because of how consistent he was and how reliable he was today. Now, I mean, he wasn't really tested like he's been in some matches before. Obviously, not his flashiest performance we've seen, but I think an 8 is fair.
Also, I think for the defense to function well, Fabianski's got to function well as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
He looked sharp today.
Yeah. Absolutely. Right.
Yeah, so we'll go with the 8.
Right. Aaron Cresswell.
Aaron Cresswell. I wouldn't say he was brilliant. He was all right. I don't remember him doing massively too much going forwards.
I think defensively he was good.
Defensively he was good, but he didn't, you know, because he was playing, I think, predominantly part of a back three, centre back three. He didn't have the opportunity to go forward as much, which is obviously the strongest part of his game, is his attacking side of his game, as we know.
Yeah.
So he did well defensively. Because of the team's performance and the way we played as a whole, I think he will not get no lower than a 7 for me.
No, I think he was up for me. I'd say he was above average, so he was a 7. But I don't think. I think there were players that had better games.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, that's probably
I'd give him a 7.
Danny, yourself?
7's fair. Nothing really jumped off or jumped out at me as far as his performance. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, if he had converted on that free kick, we'd be talking a little bit higher score.
Absolutely,
yeah.
It's been a while since he's hit one of those.
It is.
I think what was the last one at?
That was so close.
United, I think.
But it was so close. It really was.
Yeah.
Such a good strike. Right, let's go to Johnson next. Danny, what's your thoughts on Johnson?
I'm gonna give him a 9.
He was good, wasn't he?
Yeah,
It was very good.
it seems like every time we talk about Johnson, whether he's been consistently on the team sheet or not, he's putting in good performances. Consistency is the key to any of the success that we've had. Sioux Falls not really been that consistent for us this season. I mean, I still think the guy's quality, but I don't think he's quite as consistent as Johnson.
I think Johnson is a better right back in my opinion. I think he is.
On current form, yes, absolutely, that's fair.
He was awesome today. Go on, Gal. Sorry.
I think Sioux Falls is now the backup right back.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, he should be. No, but why not?
No, I agree, but it's a good call. I mean, I totally agree. It's now Johnson's position to lose, as they would say. You know, he for me hasn't put a foot wrong since he's played for us this season. Generally, Gal, what do you reckon?
Yep, bang on. I think he rarely makes a mistake. And I was watching another review on another channel earlier, and what they said in the second half, and I saw this as well, so it was just like reinforcing what I'd seen. A player went past, and I don't know the name of the player, but a player in the second half went past Johnson, right? He went past him quite easily. The next time the player went to run past Johnson, he got no change out of Johnson at all. So it was like he'd learned from the first event, whatever happened, and he was not making that mistake twice, right? So he's
close today.
So good. Yeah.
I think there's only one one area that he could improve today, and that was when he gets forward, he gets into great positions. His delivery isn't always the best.
Yeah, but listen,
that's something Sioux Falls better than him at.
That's the one thing I would say.
But we had this conversation when Johnson first came into the team when Sioux Falls got injured early on in the season. We said that Johnson's a better defender, Sioux Falls a better attacker.
Yeah.
To me, if you can get your defensive part of the game first and foremost, is the most important thing of a wing back, and then he will learn that part of it. He will learn that. He'll
develop it. He'll develop it. You know,
exactly
and he was getting forward a lot today. You remember once he got fouled in the opposition box on the left hand side. That's how far forward he was getting. Right.
Yeah, very true.
Well, he cut across the box. That Cresswell, that free kick that Cresswell whipped wide.
He won that free kick.
That was Johnson. That was Johnson that got fouled for that. But no, that's fine. So what we say, I probably wouldn't go. I'd go a high 8, but I don't know if I'd go 9 for Johnson. I'd probably go 8. Me personally.
Yeah, I'd say a nice 8.5 if we did a half, but 8.
Yeah, I'd go a high 8.
Okay, I might have to start doing decimals. Okay.
only because this is only because we never give 10s out as the perfect performance. Having said that, I am tempted to give 1 10 out today, but there.
Oh, can't wait for this one, Gal.
Okay, right now,
10.
Craig. Let's go to Gary for and we go to John after for Dawson. Go on, Gal.
Well, look, he was just absolutely, early mistake, but you get those every now and then with Dawson. But for me, he is the modern day Ginge. He is Mr. Reliable. He is solid as a rock. He's brave as a lion. He's got a double. He's got a tribute, a double Dawson tribute lamppost outside. The guy's got everything. I'd give him an 8 on today's performance.
Okay, I'd probably go with that as well, Danny.
8 as well, and the last thing that spoof page of his had said was obviously a clean sheet as well, but it's nothing unusual anymore. I expect it as I'm the best in the world. Just got on the coach and realized I still have Wong Hee Chan in my pocket. Yours sincerely, the greatest of all time.
Brilliant, isn't it?
That actually sounds like I did write that, don't it?
I wish he was actually that self-centered. That'd be so.
John, do you want to say a few little sweet words on Dawson?
I just want to say, I want to say one thing to predominantly 2 people. One who sits on the YouTube channel with me, and one who is very often in our chat. And it's just going to be a little short sentence. I told you so. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. And you 2 people know who you are.
Right,
and one other thing quickly. If Gareth Southgate picks on form, why not Dawson? I'll move on swiftly.
Oh, dude, he won't do that, but that'd be awesome.
Why not? He's 30 going on 31. That is prime time for a central defender, isn't it?
Mate, I thought he was older than 31. I genuinely did.
I think he's 32.
Yeah.
He's 32. He's 32.
I thought he was 31.
He's 32.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
31, 32, doesn't matter.
He's a youngster for a centre half, a youngster.
Right, Kurt Zuma, the beast.
Oh.
He was amazing today, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Fucking 9, man.
Well, yeah, this is the one.
He was at least a 9.
This is the one where I'm tempted to give a 10 because I thought it was absolutely perfect, his performance, right?
You got a 10, really?
Well, I'm just saying he didn't put a fucking foot wrong.
No.
One foot wrong. And he made so many blocks and so many tackles and so many interceptions. And he won everything in the air. The guy was just a beast today.
That is a statement, though, isn't it? A 10 or so.
I'm just saying, we don't give 10s. I'm just saying we don't give 10s. So it should probably be a 9. But you know, if anyone deserves a 10 for a perfect performance, for me, it's him today.
That's as close to as perfect as you're going to get out of a center half like that.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. And to be honest with you, he is. You know, he surprised me how much of a no-nonsense defender he is. Do you know what I mean? He's not a ball carrying centre half. He's quite old school in a certain way. He's very old fashioned sort of centre half, and I think Nick alluded to it earlier on. I think maybe on Friday's show when he said that's probably why Chelsea got rid of him because he's not your modern type centre back really, right?
No,
he's very traditional, very strong as an ox, breaks it down, great in the tackle, great in the air. But yeah, for me, he's an exceptionally high 9, and most people in the chat are saying the same thing.
We've got a couple that are saying 10. Claire's said 10. Sarif 2 saying 9.5. Garino saying 9. Paul Riley saying 10. That's a lot of high. You know what? I'm happy to go over 10. To be honest, what do you reckon?
Could Zuma do any better in a game? Ask that question.
No. Listen, you've made a great case, and I don't disagree with you. It's just because we've never given a 10. It seems unusual, but yeah,
I know. It feels odd. It feels odd to me as well. But I'm just trying to think. You know.
Also, look, he's brought all this shit on himself. But in terms of being professional at his job, he hasn't let it get to him in that sense, has he? He's doing his job, and he's doing it fucking well as well.
Fair play to him for not letting it distract him. Yeah.
I mean, you know, Russia had to invade Ukraine to get him off the front pages, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Is that the angle here? Like that was the tactical reason for it.
True. It's very true. And to be fair, they did a little survey. They did a survey earlier in the week, and they said that 9 out of 10 cats preferred Zuma. So that's probably
right. Okay. Right. He's getting a 10.
Whoa! First time ever we've had a 10.
Might as well whack that on him straight away.
Were you guys at the ground today?
Yeah, I was. John was.
Is he still getting? Is he getting any stick at all from the home fans, or is it just visitors?
No, he's all he's getting is the old Zuma. You know, he basically has always got booed because that's his thing.
Yeah, right? that's common for somebody with a name like that, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's not a boo.
No.
Okay. Declan Rice. I would say Gary. I'll go on.
Well, you start with that one, Nick. You start, Nick. Go on.
Go on.
Declan Rice for me was a 9 today. I think he had a brilliant game. I think he was breaking up play. He was driving the ball forward. He was just tremendous in. You know, he probably if he'd have scored that goal, that 25-yard, it'd have been a 10.
That's a 10. Yeah.
He was driving. He was driving down the left. He was driving down the right. He was defending. He was covering. He was everywhere, and he didn't do. There was no mistakes made today. He was superb. So a 9 for me for Deck. What about yourselves?
That would have been if he had converted on that worldie he almost had in the first half. That would have been pretty similar to that goal he scored against I think it was Norwich a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah,
from outside of the box. What more can we even say about Declan Rice at this point? No, the guy turns in this kind of performance week in and week out. It's so rare for us to sit here and talk about player ratings or player performance and have much negativity in the way of how we play. The guy's incredible.
Yeah,
guy's incredible.
I thought
9 as well, I guess.
I thought it was one of Deck's best games in the. I'd say take the last 4 or 5 games, this was his best game.
This is the best one out in recent. Yeah,
He was magnificent. He was everywhere today, and he wasn't making mistakes. He wasn't losing the ball. Everything he did was positive. You know, I would agree. I'd go with a 9.
7. What?
7.
Just seeing that in the comments,
mate. Seriously, and I think epic hash time. I think epic hash time. If Ben Rama was on the pitch, he'd be giving him a 9 just for putting his boots on.
Personally, he had some great moments, but I'd say like high 8s, like 8.5.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
What do you reckon, Danny? Danny, what?
So a 9 is fair. Maybe like an 8.5, like high 8.
Yeah.
I'm okay with either one on that. Like I said, there's.
What's it looking like in the chat? Where are we?
It's quite mixed. There's 8 and 9s, and there's that 7 that we saw as well. 8 and 9s. Yeah, a lot of people said if he would have scored the goal, the one that hit the post, he would have been given a 10. So you know, we're all sitting on the fence here. 3 9s and an 8 from me, wasn't it? Or no, 2 9s.
And 2 I'm going 9.
And while we're on Declan Rice, did any of you guys catch his post game comments?
No.
Yes. He
was interviewed side by side with Souček, who had a birthday today.
Oh wow!
But he had mentioned that he's Declan Rice mentioned that he's okay to just sort of hang back and let Thomas make his forward runs.
Did he?
I mean, he described. I mean, right next to Souček, you know, this is a 10 goals a season player, and I'm happy to hang back so he can attack. And he coming straight from his mouth. I feel like
they was both saying it as well, weren't they? Because you had Souček going, yes, and Declan Rice is also very good, and he's got the best shot in the team.
I love him. I love him.
I know, man. You should get to the chopper.
I thought you was taking off the Swedish chef at the Muppet Show.
I know. But he was saying that basically what he was saying that I've been telling Dec to shoot more. So it looks like they're supporting each other. He said he's got the best shot.
That's a really good.
He's got the best shot of the club. Declan has. That's what he said. He said, and I've been telling him to shoot.
That was telling that he says he's got one of the best shots, or he's got the best shot.
Yeah. So look,
Nick's German.
Okay. Well, look, I reckon.
Listen, we're going to be giving out a lot of 9s, right? So I would
I'm going 9 for Dec.
You reckon go 9 for Dec? Because
if you've gone 10 for Zuma,
you got to bear. No, Zuma was outstanding in a class.
Zuma was outstanding. He was super.
Yeah. We won that game because of Zuma.
Yeah.
So you're going 8. All right.
A high 8.
I'm just saying. When you look at the rest of the team here, and you got to rate them all, I think you're looking at Antonio, who scores highly. Fornals scores massively highly. Right. I think Souček had a good game. Lanzini had a good game. Bowen, not so good compared to all them.
Not the best. Yeah. What's this, Nick? I'm wasted on it.
We're going to send him on Britain's Got Talent in the next.
All right. Well, look. Let's go Souček next then. We go to Gary for Souček.
I'll give him a 12.
Give him a 12. So I'll give him a 12.
Listen, I thought the partnership of Rice and Souček, it's been flawed of late. It's been flawed for most of the season.
Yeah.
Today they got it drilled. It was perfect. It was perfect the way they did it. They were both getting forward at times, but largely Souček was getting forward and Rice was sitting in front of that back.
And they were both breaking up play as well. Do you know what Souček did today, which I really liked, and I forgot that he could do it. And this was where he came from deep. And do you know what Dec does when he makes those interceptions where he reads the game and he just comes out and he meets a challenge? Souček done that, and he broke up an attack and he got us on the front foot pretty quickly. And it was working well with them two today, I will say.
I think what happened today was there was no.
Oh, has he gone?
That's a nice way to freeze, though, John.
No, I can imagine what he was going to say, that he thinks Souček was an 8.
Yeah, I think. Oh, look, that's fine. I'm happy.
Danny's on mute. Danny, you're on mute.
Danny, you're on mute. But I think Souček got a goal as well. So
Danny, you're still on mute. You've unmuted yourself and remuted yourself.
Okay,
that's it.
He's back. Yeah. But yeah, I reckon for me, Souček, because he scored as well. I think an 8 is fair.
Yeah. I would give him an 8.
How good was today for him too? I don't know if he's found his form again, but he really needed a performance like that.
Look, we haven't got a massive squad, and he has been an important player for us, and we've needed him. He's not been good for a long time. We need him to rediscover his form, and if we can, he's only going to help us, isn't he?
I don't give a shit who's going forward, him or Declan.
Exactly. Yeah.
Results. Like that's as good as it's gonna get between those two today.
No, they were brilliant. They were brilliant.
And you know what? I'm looking at these midfield players and I'm trying to pick us. I've picked a star of the show in my mind in defence, and now we're looking at the midfield. I think I know who my star of the show in midfield is, and it's not Declan, it's not Souček. It's Fornals.
100% tackles won. Let's see, 22 final third passes attempted, 7 ball recoveries, 2 chances created, big chance created. The guy played outstanding today.
He was magnificent today.
Yes,
absolutely was. So for me, it's a cast iron nailed on 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh no, I'll go with that. I think he was supreme today.
Yeah.
I think he's without a shadow of a doubt the best and most creative passer of the ball in our team.
Yeah.
He can see a pass and he can execute it as well. He's
so fun to watch when he's at his best.
He's fantastic. He's not the type of player that's going to dribble past and do step overs like Ben Rama, but the end product is so much more from Fornals. I'm sorry, it really is.
He's more clinical.
Yeah, it's just class.
He plays such a lovely, perfectly weighted ball as well.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant.
Incredible.
I think a player tailor-made to
Pablo 90
this club.
Pablo, yeah. You're getting arguments from me. So 9 for Pablo. So John, are you all right with a 9?
Yeah, mate. And again, I'm going to give you a bit of credit because I think on Friday's show you said, "What about playing Fornals at wing back?" Something I've never really thought about before.
Yeah,
and,
no.
I have to say, Nick, your knowledge on Fornals' possibilities of playing there is immense. Well done.
Before Nigel smashes his laptop up, if he's watching it, that was actually Nigel that said that. So
I know, but Nick,
I won't take credit. I won't take credit for it.
I knew it was Nigel. Don't tell Nigel.
Do you take that back now?
Yeah.
Well, whoever said it, they got it bang on.
Yeah, but he's
it was Nigel.
No, but playing Fornals. Because he was deep today. And when you play him, you got someone with that passing ability. Sort of, you just need someone like him in your team. You just do, And when you've got other players, you got Lanzini, it just felt like we was all closer together this week, didn't it? When we was playing, we weren't disjointed, and that's why. But I think he was tremendous today. Fornals, completely agree. Right, Manu, Lanzini, the duel.
Go on, Danny.
All right, I'll start. I would say a high 7 or an 8 would be fair for him.
I thought he was brilliant today. Very understated.
Maybe not a 7. I'll go with an 8.
He literally, like I say, he was the glue for the team today. He just keeps that ball turning over. He just he's so good.
Do you remember the other week when he came on as substitute and he had an impact straight away?
Calm as well. He's so calm.
Yeah.
And he's happy on the ball.
He had that same impact from the start today.
Yeah.
And you don't see that very often. I really enjoyed him today. I thought he played well.
I'd like to see him start in that number 10 role as long as we can have him.
Yeah, I think we all would, but the question with him doing it in recent years has been injuries and whether he can last the whole game and be as effective. And I think I have to agree with Garino. I did think the last 15, 20 minutes he went quite quiet. I do think he blew out a little bit towards the end, and that's a little bit of a factor probably why he doesn't generally play 90 minutes.
Look, I don't think he's as fit. I don't think he's got the
exactly
engine
that.
as the other players. He ain't got that. But I would still, for me, for the effect he had in the game, he was at least an 8 for me. Like I say, more understated. He was doing more work for the team. He was kind of, he went in it for the glory today, Manu. He was brilliant. Just knitting passes together, keeping the ball moving, calming things down when we was under pressure. I think
not
he was
making mistakes.
Really good player.
Just quickly, can we block Pam, please? Because she's leaving us to go and watch Peaky Blinders. I mean,
Pam, what are you doing, Pam?
She's got catch-up television, yeah?
Pam, no. Right. So what are we saying for Manu? Are we saying 7 or an
8? I'd go 7. Sorry, I'd go 8. Sorry, 8.
I'd go 8 for Manu as well. Gary?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Danny, you happy with that?
I'm happy with an 8.
Right. Now let's start with Jared Bowen.
Well, listen, for Jared Bowen, with the high standards that he maintains, I would say today for me would be a 7 for Bowen.
Yeah, he wasn't no lower than that, but I don't think he was. He definitely won an 8. I don't think today.
It wasn't one of his best games today.
No, he was quiet for he's like you say, Gal, because we expect so much from him, and he probably expects so much from himself. It wasn't one of his better games. He did nothing wrong, but he wasn't his superlative self, you know.
Definitely.
So, have we come to just expect him to be involved in a goal week in and week out? I mean, that's how he's been this year, man.
Yeah. So we're going to go 7 on Bowen, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that seems to be about right for everyone as well.
It was still a decent game, right? It was a decent performance.
Yeah, absolutely right. Okay, Mikel Antonio. Now, this player, for me, can I start with Mickey?
Yeah.
I would literally go as far. I know he had a bit of a wobble in the last 10 minutes, but I thought everything he did today was brilliant. I thought his energy levels were up there. He was unselfish. He was playing for the team. He was fucking tremendous today. He was winning flick-ons, and they was actually, and because he had people around him, they was meaningful flick-ons. They was going to teammates. He was amazing. And for me, even if he'd have got a goal, it would have been a 10. But for me, that is a 9 performance all day long from Mickey. All day long. I'm
with you. I thought he was outstanding. I thoroughly enjoyed watching him for 80 minutes. I thought he was superb. He was back to the old Antonio. He was a real pest, and he had his pace back as well. Right, what he did.
Well, that break as well, late in the second half. You know. Yeah,
and an assist. So I'd go 9.
Yeah, I'm going 9. Danny, what are your thoughts, mate?
9. Like Souček, needed a good performance today, whether we'd gotten the 3 points or not. He needed that, get his confidence back. I know he had made some comments, I think it was earlier in the week, that he understood or he liked that people were talking about him and his lack of goals, because that meant that he felt that he had established himself as that kind of striker in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Which he's not a true striker, but
no, he's not. What I'm going to do, I'm not putting these in the bin. I'm just getting rid of them because there's no point in scoring them. Now he's only on for about 30 seconds, so we get rid of them too. We won't do the subs. What about Moyes?
I think he has to be given a high score for eventually. We've been calling for it for a while, and you can call him stubborn, you can call him whatever you want, but he's worked on something. It's worked very well. We was convincing today, even though it was only 1-0. And it was just good to see. And it gives the team a bit of energy, because the players, players are performance-based, right? So they're going to be confident if they're playing well. Antonio's going to be confident if he's scoring, blah, blah, blah. But if they're walking onto the pitch week in, week out, and it's the same for them, and they're thinking, oh, my God, why can't we change anything?
Yeah.
So the fact that Moyes changed it gave the players a bit of a kick up the thing as well, because it made them probably excited to try something different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think I'd be happy. I'd go a 9 for Moyes today.
Yeah.
You can't judge him on the game's gone past. You can only judge him on what he's done today.
This was today.
It was pretty perfect. So I'd agree with 9. I think he deserves it.
I think a couple of people in the chat are alluding to the fact that he again waited till late to make subs. And I agree in terms of Antonio.
He's got a bad habit of doing that.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. But I think in terms of getting it right tactically today, he did, and he did make. Look, he ain't made changes to personnel. It was the way that we played. The whole system changed.
The tactics, yeah.
It was brilliant, And again, he's found hopefully he's found a new shape that will see us out to the rest of the season, because we know that Moyes ain't going to change it every week. He's not going to. So
no, that's right.
He's like if he bought a car, he'd run it into the ground before he bought a new one, wouldn't he? He would do.
It's no coincidence that 2 of our players who have been underperforming regularly for a couple of months, i.e. Souček and Antonio, and especially Antonio, they had far more joy today because they had a new lease of life almost. Antonio's all of a sudden got players within 10 yards of him. All of a sudden, Antonio is being played long balls from the back, and he's got players. If you're getting long balls, 50-yard, 40-yard long balls, and already the ball's coming down, you're thinking, oh, if I control this, I've got no one to give it to. You're already thinking too far ahead. When you know there's players around you, it takes that pressure off a little bit. I believe that.
Of course it does. And I do wonder sometimes whether or not, because he likes to. Today we pressed, and it is effective, and our players can press as we proved today. We're a pain in the arse. But it makes you wonder whether are you more likely to suffer burnout if you play a pressing game? If during 90 minutes, if you've got games in a week and you play a pressing game, which means you're running twice as hard,
You're gonna have tired legs, man.
You're gonna have tired legs. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, a change is as good as a rest.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were set up to succeed today, and we got. I mean, we got just went over the player ratings, and everybody did their job today. Every single player on the pitch did their job today.
We deserve that.
They were set up to succeed.
Right, we've got a couple of videos that were sent in from one from Grant and one from our friend Dave as well. So we'll put Grant up first. So here we go.
Hi guys, quick reaction to today's game. Really enjoyed that. That was probably the best performance we've had in quite a long time. So positives all round. I thought Fab was absolutely outstanding. He came for everything. He grabbed everything. He played really assured. So yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. Dawson and Zuma, absolutely rock solid centre backs. Creswell, best game for a good while. Great to see Johnson playing well. Rice and Souček, really pleased with them. Antonio, absolutely outstanding. Lanzini, link man through from Rice and Souček up to Antonio. He was brilliant. Bowen, really inventive, really went for it, really tried to create chances. And Fornals as well worked really hard down the left. I thought Moyes made two great subs. They were what was needed, but unfortunately, being Moyes, they were about 10 minutes too late. The game, that last 10 minutes nearly killed me. The game was really starting to slip away. But you know what? We got the result, we got the win, and we can really build on that. Want to see us a bit more clinical, but otherwise, you really can't complain a performance like that in the sunshine. So yeah, absolutely massive. Come on, you Irons.
I've got to agree with Claire a little bit there.
Right. Yeah. Listen. This is a better one. We remember Angry Dave. Now we've got Happy Dave. Right. This is the last one. We've got Happy Dave.
I am fucking over the moon with that. I thought it was a brilliant performance. Everyone put in a real shift. Sorry, I'm just calming down. I was fucking pacing up and down for the last few minutes there, but yeah, brilliant. Zuma, fucking what a player. What's the centre half we've got there? He was outstanding. Fornals, decent. Lanzini, Rice, running things. No, it's good, really good. I'm not gonna. No negatives today for me. Fucking brilliant stuff. Get in, you Irons.
Go on, Dave.
Was he in a barber's chair?
That's what it looked like.
Made me dizzy. Made me a bit dizzy going around like that.
No. I like you can tell we struggled in that last 10 minutes though because he was out of breath.
Oh, I was standing this close to my fucking TV.
Yeah.
Those last 10 minutes, I sweated it. Those last 10 minutes.
Yeah, cheers, gents, for sending those in. So anyway, look, Wednesday night we go to Southampton.
Road trip.
Whoa, dude.
Southampton. So let's have a little chat about that. What are we expecting from the?
Well, there's a good question. There's a good question here from Garino just quickly about that. Question is, should we change things up and rest a few players for Southampton as we have Liverpool at the weekend, then Sevilla?
I would rest Liverpool. I'd rest Liverpool.
Yeah. I'm with that. Yeah. Rest against Liverpool.
Rest against Liverpool because that's the
game. Forget about it. Yeah. Anyway, we're not going to win that game.
Focus on the cups.
Well, not with that attitude, Mr. Negative Pants.
No, but listen, we've got bigger fish to fry. We've got the FA Cup.
Let's be totally honest. It's because we go in Southampton, all of us, that we want a proper team out. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah.
But no, absolutely. I think he's got to go for the he's got to go for it against Southampton. I hope he does anyway. But he hasn't got to.
No.
Listen, I hope he doesn't change it up hardly at all, right? I'd be happy to see all of those players that play today play on Wednesday, apart from, I'm thinking perhaps Antonio gets a rest and Vlasic
Bowen plays up front.
Yeah, Bowen or maybe Bowen and Vlasic or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, something different. You remember the Spurs game where Vlasic played up front with Bowen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did really well together.
I like that, yeah.
They did really well together. So I'd like to see that again.
I think one of the other factors as well is if Lanzini can last another game from starting on. He played full 90 today, didn't he?
Yeah.
for him to start again against Southampton might be a little stretch too far, and that's when you might see Benrahma or Vlasic come in for him, maybe.
I don't think
something. I don't know.
I don't think you're going to see Benrahma for a few games. I think he's having his bum smacked. Honestly,
really?
Yeah.
He mouthed off to Moyes when he got pulled off.
I know.
I think that could be could have been a mistake from Benny. Well, especially when you're not really doing your job and you're not really affecting the game. I mean, in that game where he got taken off, he wasn't the worst player, but he certainly, it weren't like he could have had any complaints. He wasn't affecting the game that much, really.
No.
So
you've got to have an established position in the club to be able to talk back like that. I mean, like maybe Declan Rice might be able to get away with some shit like that, but not Benrahma. Not yet, anyway.
No, never. I don't think. But anyway, so what are we expecting from Southampton in terms of a result? Go on, Danny. What are you thinking?
Oh, we're advancing. We're advancing. We're going to win that game.
We're going to win. Yeah, good.
There's no way. Plus, you guys are going, so
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we might go in the change room before the game, lads. What do you reckon? And just talk about his tactics.
Motivation.
Yeah. Well, he might want me to get me lineup balled out and just give him a few ideas.
Get the chalkboard out.
Exactly. You never know.
My name's Nick. I've done me level 1 coaching badge.
Do you want any pointers, Dave?
Bearing in mind, I've seen firsthand Nick coaching on the sideline. It is beautiful to behold.
Thank you very much.
The communication that he gives out to his boys is first class. He helped my son Freddie immensely through his 2 games you played for his team. He's a fantastic man. Nick could go all the way to the top, Danny. I don't know why you're smirking, mate. Nick could go all the way to the top, yeah?
Wait. He played 2 games for Nick's team. What was he on loan?
Yeah, he was on loan for a little while.
Yeah. I'm tactically, I'm very astute, Danny. Right, I am.
Oh, I do believe it. It's at least my experience with you guys and you breaking down tactically how we line up and how things work. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. No. But I must admit, I love it. At the moment, I love watching me boy play. I love watching that team play as much as I enjoy watching West Ham play at the minute. Yeah, it's the same sort of passion because they're going up now. They're sort of they're 12, 13 years old. It's getting a bit aggressive now. The games are getting a bit a bit tasty. They're getting a bit tasty. Yeah, so it is interesting.
Oh, I forgot that. The game has to be finished on the night, doesn't it? So extra time.
Yeah, no replays.
Time and pens or straight to pens?
Straight to pens, I think.
Right to pens. Oh,
no. Wait, in the FA Cup?
Yeah,
I know the League Cup went straight to pens, but
I think it might
be extra time.
I think it's extra time because we don't have. Yes, it's extra time because extra time first. Remember Kidderminster?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Well done, Danny. Well done, Danny.
Bring Danny on the show. He still got it up there, the boy.
I was relatively not drunk for that game because it was 6:30 in the morning here.
I was just depressed. I was reaching for the Prozac.
Oh, my God. That was bad, wasn't it? Yeah, so Garino says extra time and then pens. Yeah, he's clarified that. But no, all right. Well, that's good. Well, Gary, do you want to wrap up?
Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining us on this Sunday night. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for all your comments and everything. Thanks, Danny, for jumping on. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Time's getting close to me seeing you guys.
Always a pleasure, Danny. We look forward to that in April. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon. This week, we're going on a Claret and Booze road trip down to Southampton. We're all going. Southampton. Brewdog in Southampton if you're going down there. We'll be back for the Booze Up next, probably Friday or Saturday. We haven't decided yet because of the Liverpool game. Until then, thanks for watching. See you soon. And come on, your irons.
Come on, your irons.
Come on, get to the chopper.
Hello. That was all right. Cheers for coming on, Danny. That was brilliant, mate. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you guys.
Good fun.
I love making new friends, and especially if they like my fucking hammers.
Yeah.
Because there's
We're
not
always
enough of us here. But
Have you got a ticket for the game yet? Any news? What's happening? Do you know anything more? Or are we
no,
just going to
don't have to get for the game. I've got a buddy that that's also a Dolphins fan, actually, and I think he's watching right now. If you're watching, Daniel, let me know when you find out about tickets. I'm trying to.
Do you know what? We're still broadcasting. I haven't ended the broadcast.
I know. Good thing I didn't start doing something,
Oh my god!
Night all. Good night all. See you later.
What an
Professional.
Goodbye.